I think we've got a good one for you today. Today we're going to be talking about winter is coming. We've got a lot of different conversations we can have about this. One of our most frequently asked questions is what to do with our Japanese maples in the winter.
And I think with winter approaching, this is such an important topic right now. I mean, we try to do things that are very relevant, and with winter approaching, winter is coming. I mean, this is the thing that a lot of people need right now in understanding what to do with their Japanese maples they need to do during the winter. Especially if you purchase some new Japanese maples from us and you're trying to figure out, hey, what do I do with these things during the winter? Hopefully this podcast will help you understand a little bit about what steps you need to take and how you should be growing your Japanese maples during those winter months.
Hey, one thing I'll let all you guys know up front, we do hold trees for spring. So if you're not comfortable with winter gardening, if you're in a heavy zone 5 and you want to hold that tree until spring, we have that option. There's a notes for seller part there on our website. So if you're purchasing specifically from MrMaple.com and you'd like a later ship date, you can always call and let Jody know. You need to do it pretty quickly because we do get things out pretty quickly, but there's also a notes for seller and you can add a later month there if you want to skip some of these winter steps. But we're going to go through some different winter steps for you. Just breaking it down a little bit. We're going to get into zone 5 and then zone 6 through 9. Japanese maples, as we always let people know, work zones 5 through 9. There's a few different steps in zone 5 than that 6 and 9 garden. 6 through 9 are a little bit easier.
Now, zones are broke down based on how cold you get during those winter months. The USDA has a whole website, and I've got a video that talks about what is your USDA gardening zone. You can go watch that video. You can go to the USDA website, plug in your zip code, and it will tell you what hardiness zone you are. So this can help you understand a little bit about what to do specifically in those different gardening zones. And if you're in a zone 5, you're in somewhere that gets down to like negative 20 degrees. That's negative 20 degrees during the winter. Mm-hmm. And if you do that, you're going to need to take extra steps than someone who's in a zone 6 where it gets down to negative 10. So let's just keep that in consideration. What we're talking about is how cold does it get in your zone, in your area during the winter months. That's what we're discussing when we're talking about these hardiness zones, zones 5, zone 6, zone 7, and zone 8, and zone 9.
Yeah, so basically in that zone 5, there's going to be a few more precautions, specifically in containers that we want you to consider. So when keeping Japanese maples in containers in zone 5, I often let people know the easiest step may be to go ahead and plant those. To get them in the ground, you're going to have less steps long term with a Japanese maple in the ground versus one in a pot. A lot of people will do things that are counterproductive for their own success. They'll say, well, I got this Japanese maple, it's November, I'm going to store this in my shed all winter instead of planting it, and they may even be in like a zone 8. And so I hear that more often than not. Someone's in like Atlanta, and they go, well, gosh, I got this, I heard spring's the easy time to plant. May even got it in like September, and they'll hold that tree an entire year to plant it, and then they'll keep that tree like in a shed or something, even in a zone 8. And guys, 9 times out of 10, that's more harm than good. The container gardens are very easy for these zone 6 through 9 people. That's basically you're just going to need to protect during extreme changes. So during extreme changes, you're going to want to protect your trees in pots, zone 6 through 9. You're going to want to watch out. And there's polar vortexes. There's all kinds of crazy stuff that can happen. And I always tell people to be preemptive and prepare. But that zone 6 through 9 is going to be extremely easy for those container gardeners. Those zone 5 people are going to need to go to a shed, a garage, or inside. Now, there's factors to consider when you're doing that.
Now, if you're in the zones 5, remember that you do have to take extra steps when plants are in containers that other people don't have to take. I mean, zone 6 through 9, like Matt talked about, they can plant them directly into the ground. They can put them in pots, and they don't have to bring them inside and protect them in the winter months. The biggest mistake, like Matt talked about, is people overreacting to winter coming in zone 6 through 9 and putting them somewhere where they don't get natural water. And then those plants dry out too much during the winter because they need water during the winter months just like they need during the summer months.